Hi everyone, I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Alyssa Pedrick. I just wanted to have a conversation with you guys on this Facebook Live to really discuss what's going on in the tropics. We had the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center at 5 o'clock, and because of golf, couldn't break into golf. So we're going to be breaking it down here, and I want to give you then an opportunity to ask me questions and for me to give you my opinion of these storms, what's going to happen over the next few days, and locally what to expect. So we actually have an upper level trough just to the north and west of us, and that's what's helping to stream in showers and storms for us this evening, where some can even linger after sunset. But now this is just about the tropics. You can see Tropical Storm Laura, really a lot of convection with our infrared imagery right here from our satellite, really over Puerto Rico. Heavy rain located over Puerto Rico right now. It's moving towards the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and it is forecasted to move towards Cuba tomorrow and into Monday, and then into the Gulf of Mexico early next week. Now, Tropical Storm Marco, it originally was forecasted, and there's a lot of changes with this new advisory, was forecasted to cross over the Yucatan Peninsula, but now it is forecasted to move through the Yucatan Channel and then into the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow and potentially strengthen into a hurricane later tonight into tomorrow morning. So of course, keeping you up to date with that. We are tracking the tropics for you, and I'm going to show you the tracks side by side to show you the locations and how they're similar and how they're different. So as you can see, Laura will be moving pretty much to the west and north and west through the weekend. The timestamp right here into the Gulf of Mexico, probably late Monday into early Tuesday morning. Winds of 65 miles per hour. But notice this is Tuesday at 2 o'clock. A Category 1 hurricane in the central Gulf of Mexico. This is Tuesday at 2 o'clock for Marco, but Marco is also forecasted in that. I try to change the colors a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see, but their tracks kind of do overlap at different times. So the orange cone right there, that is Marco. The red here is Laura. So Marco also forecasted to become a Category 1 hurricane later today into tomorrow morning and remain a Category 1 hurricane all the way up to moving even to the mouth of the Mississippi River along the Louisiana coast early on Tuesday. That's Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the morning, and this is Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the morning. So still very well apart, but notice their paths very similar when it comes to the ending point, because Laura is looking to make landfall potentially Wednesday afternoon with winds of 85 miles per hour. So also a category, and a strong one at that, Category 1 hurricane along the central Gulf Coast towards the Mississippi coast. So as you can imagine, there are hurricane watches in effect right now for the Mississippi area. You can see New Orleans included right there. Also parts of Mississippi. There is a tropical storm watch in effect for coastal Alabama. And also there are tropical storm warnings in effect extending all the way from Puerto Rico to Cuba. Also a tropical storm watch in effect for the Bahamas, the Keys, and also parts of South Florida around the Miami area. So really what has changed, just to summarize it, because I know that's a lot of information. What's changed? Well, Marco's track did shift a little bit more to the east. Its landfall is a day or two before Laura, and both are targeting the central Gulf Coast. And the last time, and I see on social media all the time, has this ever happened before? Have we had two storms in the Gulf at the same time? Well, we have. September 5th, 1933, we had two storms in the Gulf of Mexico. One was a Category 3 hurricane making landfall in Brownsville, Texas, and also a Category 3 hurricane along the Treasure Coast, also as a Category 3 hurricane. And the shortest time on record of the U.S. back-to-back landfalls is 23 hours. So Laura and Marco are looking to be around a day to even 2 days apart when it comes to their landfall. So local impacts for us here Monday and into Tuesday, a moderate to even high rip current risk along the beaches because we are tracking onshore winds, which will bring most of our storms Monday into Tuesday mainly inland, but we can see a few coastal showers in the morning. Of course, an increase in tropical moisture as this Laura particularly moves into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll have some tropical moisture streaming into our area, allowing us to spark more showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. But as I said, onshore winds, and you can really see the humidity building by that lighter green color right there. That's heading into Monday and Tuesday. And you can actually see Laura on this model right there, well to the west of us, but you can see that counterclockwise flow of Laura in the central Gulf of Mexico. And I want to show you also, before I read some of your questions, tropical statistics. Colorado State University is forecasting 24 named storms this year. On record, it was 28 in 2005, and on average, we usually see 12. And so far this year, we have seen 13. So definitely an above average hurricane season. And we have 100 days to go in this hurricane season. So we have a lot of time still left. So if these two storms can tell you anything, definitely prepare now. Have a plan with your family. Know your home, know your zone. I'm going to walk over here to see if there are any questions that you guys might have. Okay, Donald. You're asking, so what is the weather like now? Well, weather like now, here I can pull up the radar really quickly just to show you what is going on locally. Let's pull this up really, really quickly because I know a lot of people want to know what's going on in the tropics, but of course, what's going on right now. Okay, I'll sleep this really fast. We are tracking showers and storms through our area. There has been a shower or a really heavy downpour over Putnam County for quite some time. So we're watching locations of minor flooding there. So that's something that we are monitoring. And then that steady flow is slowly working itself north. So that should be moving into southern Duval County very shortly. And that steady flow, once the sun sets and we don't have all of the daytime heating, those showers will slowly begin to die down into tonight with, unfortunately, cloudy skies. So that's kind of what we're tracking right now. Okay, southern Georgia. Yes, Jackie, southern Georgia is starting to see some of those showers, and we knew that the storms and showers would work itself from south to north. That's just how the flow is going right now because of that upper level trough. So for those of you in Camden County and also coastal Glenn County, you will also be seeing some of these moderate to even lighter showers even past sunset. Okay, Eric, you asked how common is it to have two storms at once? I answered that a little bit ago. It's not common. The last time that this did happen was in 1933. So a long time ago, this happened, and they were both Category 3 hurricanes, and Laura and Marco are forecasted to become Category 1 hurricanes, making landfall along the central Gulf Coast, particularly Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Those are the main locations of concern with both of these forecasted tracks. Currently, of course, over time they can adjust, and we'll continue to keep you updated. Let's see here. Reading more of what you guys have to say. Okay, so Rob Patrick, I see you asking what are the odds of them merging over Cuba or Miami? I'm going to show you these tracks one more time. So this is, I think that this is probably a better explainer. So this is Monday at 2 p.m., Cuba, and it's still far, the center of circulation, still far away from the Keys, still far away from Miami, but we talk about this all the time. The impacts from tropical storms and hurricanes can be felt hundreds of miles from the center circulation. So that's why the tropical storm watch is in effect for the parts of the Keys and Miami, because the effects will be felt well out from the center. But this is Monday at 2 p.m. And this is also Monday at 2 p.m. So notice there can't really be a merger because this is roughly, I think, like 500 some miles apart. So not really a merger. And I know maybe you saw it on social media, the Fujiwara effect. They're so far apart. And at this point, the forecasted tracks are showing that there really will relatively not be as big of an influence from Marco on Laura. Even though Marco will slow down once it makes landfall into next week, it relatively will not have any impact on the forecasted track of Laura in the long term. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and Katerina asks, my son has a question. Are we going to see anything at the beaches? Honestly, all that you'll really see are, I'm going to pull this back up, tracking the tropics locally, just the onshore winds, maybe a little bit more of a rough surf. You probably have noticed it over the past few days because of the onshore winds. So we'll see probably surf ranging from 2 to 3 feet, a little bit more elevated, and a moderate to even high rip current risk along our coastline. So locally, that's all we're looking at, and an increase in tropical moisture. So this moisture right here isn't actually from Marco, it's just an upper level trough. So imagine once Laura comes through, we'll have even more of a southerly flow, pulling in moisture similar as to today, but just want to also emphasize that that is not from Marco. So locally, just moisture in our area, helping to trigger showers and storms. You know, it's hot here, it's humid here. It doesn't really take a lot to spark a storm like that. So when we have tropical moisture, that adds even more moisture into our area. So we're looking at the potential for a little bit better coverage of showers and storms Monday and into Tuesday because of Laura. Not directly, but indirectly. And then April asks, is it possible for it to turn towards Florida? No. And I will show you why I need to find that graphic, because that's a great question. We have steering factors. Let's see here if I can pull it up. But we do have steering factors. I like to talk about weather like it's chess. So this is kind of delayed because we haven't updated this graphic in a while, so just kind of ignore some of the tracks. I think actually, no, the track is pretty similar actually. But okay, so this is a blocking ridge. This is a ridge of high pressure over Bermuda, and that stays there all year long. The only thing that really changes is the strength of it. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes this little line right here will be a little bit more condensed. So the influence of this high is lesser sometimes, but you can see this line indicates the influence of the high, and it's over Florida at this point, and this is Monday at 2 in the morning. So that's what's helping to steer Laura over Cuba, just to the south of Miami right there. So that's what's going to help forecast it to move to the north and west, and that's also what's helping to steer this northward. And you can't really see this that much, but over by Colorado, Utah, there's an area of high pressure there as well, allowing them to have excessive heat, like extremely excessive heat. And that's what's also helping to steer Marco kind of more straight, because before it had a massive curve. Now it's not having that curve until it makes landfall. So those are the two steering factors that we have to watch when it comes to the tracks, and especially the National Hurricane Center. So those are the two things that are helping to steer both of these storms. So when it comes to Laura coming towards Florida, it really isn't likely, because this high is just so, its influence is just so strong. And then Rodney asks, but if they did merge, how powerful would or could it be? It just won't merge. I want to emphasize that it will not merge. The timing of the two is just so far apart that it wouldn't merge, and I understand everyone wants to know a what if situation. And we actually made a graphic on yesterday when the timing was a little bit better, and meteorologist Corey Sema actually made this one. And I really like this graphic that he made because I think it's a perfect explainer. Okay, so this was yesterday before we got the latest tracking, and it shows both of them becoming hurricanes. Would they become a superstorm? No, it will not become a superstorm or a mega storm. When we talk about the Fujiwara effect, one or both can weaken because it's just energy. Two storms trying to soak up the same amount of energy, whichever one's stronger typically absorbs the other one. But in this situation, if from yesterday, not today anymore, the storms more likely were going to pinwheel, but now we have the latest track showing that Marco is just going to book it a little bit faster than Laura, so this situation will not happen. But if it was the track yesterday, this is really what we were looking at. So no, it wasn't going to merge into a superstorm or anything like that. That typically actually happens in the Pacific. That's where we see it more likely, where one hurricane can overtake the other, and the Gulf, this is what we were expecting to happen, but the timing now is very different. Okay. All right, well, I think that is it. But I will show you the track just one more time, just so you guys can see it one last time, because I don't think I have really any other questions. Tropical Storm Laura. You can see Tropical Storm Marco right there. We're gonna actually, apparently my clicker doesn't want to work, but you can see that it will continue to move Laura to the north and west. This is Tuesday at 2 p.m. is a Category 1 hurricane. Tuesday, 2 p.m. already landfall, and you can see it's in Louisiana, but potential landfall Monday night into Tuesday morning along the mouth of the Mississippi River. and you can see in the Gulf of Mexico is Laura. And then we'll play it out. Also, a secondary landfall potentially along the central Gulf Coast, really towards Louisiana, Mississippi, and coastal Alabama Wednesday at 2 p.m. with winds of 85 miles per hour. So this is definitely uncommon. The last time we had 2 landfalling hurricanes was in 1933. So we're going to continue to keep you up to date on air and online. But thank you for joining me and being really engaging and asking me questions. The next updated advisory will be at 8 o'clock this evening, and then 10 o'clock at night will be the newest track. So stay up to date with us on air and online.